Greetings. YouTube doesn't support the use of channel trailers for multiple audiences, and we have multiple audiences, so we're making a few trailers. This is for the Department of Homeland Security / USCIS and the Department of State / US Consulates, and ICE too if you want to watch. Who are we? You might be wondering. We are people that are going to bring you guys down. We are federal government consultants, past and present employees of the DHS and DOS, your own people, PhDs in academia and in the private sector, members of federal watchdog organizations, American citizens and their foreign fiancés and married couples, members of Congress, and members of the press, immigration writers. That's just to name a few. Why do members of the DHS and DOS need to see our videos? Because maybe only the upper management, the most corrupt people on the planet, are the only ones that know what's going on. And this is to enlighten the rest of the people. Because you've been had, basically, and you're going to have to change some policies and procedures, or you're going to end up in the federal penitentiary. Because, why? Because you've been had by experts. You're posing a huge risk to the national security of the United States, and you do not know what you're doing. And for misleading the United States Senate. Why did you mislead the United States Senate under oath? And for massive corruption in office, and for owing US Citizen Petitioners millions of dollars for wrongfully denied visas. You haven't seen the lawsuits yet, but they are coming. And we're going to go after your personal assets of the leadership team to fund some of the money that's due to the people whose lives you've screwed up. We understand your dilemma. If you approve every fiancé visa case, you expose the country to massive visa fraud, and all of your target groups, terrorists, sham marriages, human trafficking, everybody, will be getting into the country unchecked. So we understand that. You have to deny some visa cases. We understand, but that's not a reason for massive corruption in office and intentionally swindling U.S. citizens out of their fiancé and their fiancés out of hundreds of millions of dollars. We understand your dilemma, and that's no reason for allowing terrorists, sham marriages, human trafficking victims, and others to enter the country because you are too flippin' lazy, arrogant, incompetent, and corrupt to find the target groups. We could do that. You guys have consultants by the masses, sometimes in a ratio of 1 consultant to 2 employees. What are your consultants doing? Where do you get them from? I can't imagine. I mean, we're better. We saw your smoke and mirror show before the Senate Committee on Immigration, and we are not impressed at all. It's crazy. I don't know why the senators didn't just bring in somebody to have you people arrested. We cannot understand why the Senate Committee let you off the hook so easy. We have no intention of doing that. We know that your insane whole-of-government system cannot possibly identify a terrorist, your primary target group. We know that the next attack on American citizens is imminent. It's going to happen. Why? Because you guys have this insane system up there that cannot possibly identify terrorists. We know that the next domestic terrorist attack on U.S. soil from the terrorist who enters a country on a fiancé visa is an imminent threat. It can happen any day. Surprised it didn't happen during the Super Bowl. We know that your insane system cannot possibly detect sham marriages. Why? Because we read the paper. You read this about the, ICE getting these 70 corrupt sham marriages from LA law firm, a fake LA law firm. How many did you catch? 0. We know that ICE, cleans up after you guys screw up. 400 cases of human trafficking victims that slid through the system. We know that your insane system can't possibly detect victims of human trafficking, even though I heard some idiot mention, we train people on indicators of human trafficking. Yeah, right. We know that you screw up too, everybody makes mistakes. This is a pretty good-sized mistake, though. 858 immigrants granted citizenship. We know that your track record of determining the correct outcome of a fiancé visa case is deplorable. There's 4 possible outcomes to a fiancé visa case. What do you guys get right? You get number 1 right most of the time, 95% of the time. 30,000 people annually, that have visas approved, get into the country. But other than that, you're not doing anything right. We know that U.S. consulates are directed to hold the I-129F packet of the denied cases until the validity period of the I-797 expires. Where does it say in the INA that you're allowed to do that? You deny it took 5 days for that packet to get from the visa processing center to a consulate. It should take 5 days to get back. Why does it take 4 months? Why? Because it's your policy. We know that you intentionally deceived the U.S. Senate Committee on Immigration by not admitting that you have no clue how to identify target groups. We know that. Under oath, you said the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The whole truth is you have no clue. Why didn't you tell them? You don't have the resources. You need better resources instead of smoke and mirrors. We know that you have never taken your whole of government criteria, including the crazy, insane whole of government indicator system. You've never taken that and bumped it up against known populations of terrorists, known populations of sham marriages, known populations of human trafficking to see if your criteria even works. That's just either you're stupid or you're corrupt or both. We know that social media is a tough nut to crack. It's not so hard for most people, but it would be a step in the right direction if you're inspired to use it, and you could use it to verify bona fide couples, because what you do now is you just say, hey, we haven't denied anybody today. Let's deny this couple. They have a high number of indicators. We have, given ourselves the demigod right of denying anybody. And, you don't bother checking social media to see if it's secondary information. The reason this is not secondary information is because from the period that a couple applies for a fiancé visa until the period of the interview, the only evidence of an ongoing relationship is what the fiancé brings with them. Why do you idiots not look at it? We know that your entire whole of government approach is just crazy insane. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Look at our other videos. We've got you guys had. We know that your entire whole of government system could never detect a terrorist. Never. The next attack is imminent. You people don't realize the damage that you're doing. According to our initial audit of 2015 that we just completed last week, the last week of January 2017, the U.S. Department of State owes American Citizen Petitioners and their fiancés over $74 million just for 1 year. We just decided to audit 1 year, 2015. What's this for? It's for money lost due to canceled weddings in the United States, additional travel expenses, airfare, accommodations, meals from visiting a fiancé multiple times, legal expenses from calling an attorney because the case was denied, and lost wages from a spousal income, just for the audit year. And we still have a threat to national security, $74 million. And you guys don't realize this yet because the lawsuits haven't been filed. We would love for this money to come out of the assets of the management team. The next time you people, being the leadership team, are summoned into a meeting by the Senate Committee on Immigration for another meeting, a follow-up meeting on fiancé visa fraud, you're going to be looking at a different panel number 1. And they're going to grill the hell out of you. And I'm going to be there. We're going to have PhDs, professors from the universities where the Senate Committee on Immigration went to school. Stanford, Harvard, Georgetown. That's where they went to school. We have experts that are willing to testify that your entire system, your crazy indicator system, is just it's ineffective. Your interviews are a joke. and we still have a threat to national security. So keep up on our channel to see what's coming at you. We'll be posting every week, and naturally, we don't think you're going to be watching this. We're making these videos for everybody else, but you can see what's coming at you.